just spent every day feeling terribly responsible that I've been charged, as one of the people to kind of move this thing forward. I had no idea. I knew I was taking on something big. I didn't quite realize how big. And that's sort of, I think, week 2 when I joined, it suddenly dawned on me what a scary place this was. But it's kind of wonderful. I mean, it really is wonderful. And I consider myself very, very lucky to be part of this job and part of this team. What you see on screen is what we create. So the fictional architecture is something that we've imagined, we've researched, we've designed, we've drawn. So we bring that to the screen. It's the world in which the characters inhabit. So we have to think very carefully about how the characters will live in Marine, how the characters will live in Bravos, how they will live at Hardhome. A lot of time and effort goes into those thought processes. There's so much information thrown at an audience at any one time. You don't want to arrive at a location or a set and wonder where this is. So we try to sort of give away those clues. Bravos is a power center. So we have to kind of imagine what would immediately suggest Bravos as a place of power.
Welcome to the Iron Bank. Please, sit.
We will look at architecture that shows strength, that shows money, that shows that it is a hub of a dangerous place. We use what's around us. We use what's around us in the natural world. We borrow from other architects and we remold it, we use it for ourselves, and we just take it further. We create a language that becomes our language for Game of Thrones.
How many centuries before we learn how to build cities like this again?
My favorite place is a very difficult question. I like Danny's apartments. I think they're very beautiful. I could imagine myself living in one of those. I think that's, living on the top of an 800-foot pyramid can only be a good thing. There's a few places I wouldn't really fancy living in. I think the Three-Eyed Raven cave system, I could probably give that a miss. And Bravos, I probably wouldn't be so keen on living there. House of Black and White would be a bit of a scary place to kind of to go to sleep at night.
You said there was no Jack and Hagar here. Well, who are you then?
No one. And that is who a girl must become.
We knew we needed temple architecture. We knew it had to sort of coexist with water because Bravos is a water city. So there were certain elements we had to kind of bring together. It kind of suggested temples in India, particularly in a town called Varanasi, where there are temples lining the banks of the Ganges, with steps leading up to them. So that was quite a good reference point. Once you find those key references, you feel safe. House of Black and White was really complicated. There was so much involved. The faces, we made about 600 prosthetic faces to hang onto the walls. The size of the thing was huge. But time, money, and space means that we can only build so much. So we built as big as we can, and then visual effects will take it on from there, and they'll send the thing rocketing into the sky. That's the sort of the fun aspect of it. Also, some of the faces were sort of masks of producers, writers. I think David and Dan, they had a mask. So that was always kind of a little bit strange. Standing next to these kind of death masks of people was always a little bit odd, but interesting.
But it was like a trophy to the team. You managed to have your face.
Absolutely. I think if you got your face in the House of Black and White, you were made.
Do you have your face?
No,
there?
I didn't, sadly. No, that shows my position in life. I wasn't quite up there.